Hey guys, Mr. Danish here. First of all, sorry for the lack of videos lately. I've been feeling really sick, but I'm much better now, so I'll hopefully be able to make some more videos. Anyways, today we're going to look at triggers. I haven't really been looking forward to explaining all this stuff because it's quite confusing. So, therefore, I've chosen to quote a guy called CrystalCrown from Age of Kings Heaven. He wrote this post in 2002 and about laws of the map editor, and it's a post about or well, you can call it an article, but it's about triggers. And I've found the best part of this article, in my opinion, and explaining what triggers are. And it's he says triggers are the equivalent to if-then statements used in programming languages. Once the condition if is met, the effect then is activated. Triggers can also be looped and deactivated and reactivated at will. So this little specific part made me understand what triggers are, because basically what he is saying is that you can call conditions if and effects then, and when you make it into those terms instead, it's much easier in my opinion. But anyways, to make a new trigger, you have to click this one called new, surprisingly, and then you'll see this red text. Then you can click this one and this will appear, and well, trigger name, you can rename the trigger. It's only for personal use, so it's easier for you to figure out what triggers it is which. And yeah, well, you can call it trigger 0, that's the default trigger name. You can also call it names if you have a trigger only with names, you know, changing names, effects. Anyways, trigger description, you'll only use this if you have the display as objective activated, because then that's the area where you have to write the objective. And description order, that is you know, the order that the objectives will be in. Like if you have several objectives, then which one has to be on top. Okay, and the trigger starting state, that's pretty self-explanatory, whether it should start on or off, whether it should be activated from the beginning or not. Usually the first one will be on and the rest will be off, but that's up to you. Trigger looping, that whether the trigger should repeat itself. Yeah, that's basically it. And well, let's just delete this trigger and make a new one called trigger 0. Click it, and these settings are fine. Okay, let's take a look at the conditions. First off, click new condition, and we know we can call conditions if, so remember that. So if we bring an object to an area, then we just made a new effect, then we kill object. Okay, so try to make a sentence like that every time, where that makes it a lot easier. But bring object to area, that could be the king. If we make him go to this area, then someone will die. Then let's say my paladin will die. So that was just an example, we're not going to do it like this, but that's basically how it works. And you can always combine the conditions and effects in many ways, and remember, you can have plenty of both conditions and effects, so it you can really combine it in many ways. But remember, if you have more conditions, they will, before the effects will happen, all the conditions will have to be fulfilled at the same time, like not once but just at the same time. So yeah, remember that, otherwise you will end up with problems. Okay, for this example, we are going to make a new trigger, and or we'll just keep this one, and we'll just leave this, and I'm going to show you an example that I've been asked about a lot. It's really simple. It's like if the red player still has a city, but the king is dead, and how can you like admit defeat for the red player? Like, so instead of you'll have to kill every person in the town. Like, how can you make just by killing the king? And that's really simple. New condition: if object is if let's see, if destroy object, that's one we can use. Yeah, let's just do that one. Then new condition: if this object is destroyed, that's the king, then declare victory for player 1. Okay, so that's really simple. So let's go test it out. Charge. Okay. Then we should win. And yes, we do, even though it still has a city with people in it. So that's a really simple one. You can always combine the triggers like and effects and conditions. You can make endless combinations. You can also have triggers that are deactivated, and then have this trigger instead of declaring victory. It could be activate trigger, and then you choose trigger 1, and then in this trigger something new could happen. So you can make all sort of stuff with triggers. It's quite simple. You just have to use if and then statements instead of call it conditions and effects. That's much easier, and try to make sentences like I did, like if this object is selected, then the ownership will change, for instance. Try to make those kind of sentences, and it will be much easier. This was just covering the basics. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed and that you learned something, and yeah, that you will comment, rate, and subscribe. And yeah, just take care, guys. See ya.